What's up, guys? It is Yusuke12, and today we're going to be taking a jab at a Dokkan Fest, Dokkan Fest exclusive TUR tier list. I will be including EZAs. Pretty much just now, we just got the STR Goku and Gohan and AGL Cell EZAs. By the way, they are definitely both making this list. STR Cell, Dokkan Fest STR Cell just released. Very controversial on places like Twitter and even YouTube, Discord, anywhere you go. You'll definitely see a lot of mixed feelings on this guy, and some people who genuinely think this guy sucks and doesn't even make this list. I do think he does. I won't say where I think he is. But yeah, let's just get right into it. I think the number one spot is pretty obvious. It's Kid Goku. His performance... okay, let me restart. Just to be clear, I'm gonna be rating this off of one, individual performance and how they work on teams. So, for example, if a character like Glorio, or my bad, GT Kid Goku, for example, his individual performance is like without support or like without certain allies, but considering the one team that you're mainly gonna run him on, that's pretty much a non-issue. So pretty much the actual character's individual performance on himself is not the biggest deal to me, as long as his teams help cover up the flaws that he has and benefit him in the long run or wherever he might struggle, which is definitely covered up by AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku for him. Anyways, back to the point. AGL Kid Goku is very, very good. He has stacking. While it's only 20%, he stacks really fast because he can quad or even quintuple super. He has a really interesting intro. Dragon Ball Seekers is pretty common with these guys, I guess, but he's not even on his leader skill. Neither is he. He's the only one. There aren't very many Dragon Ball Seekers in the game, but Dragon Ball Saga 2, but this guy did just release, so that's kind of there. And there's the Int Chi-Chi, who's pretty solid. Definitely not like the greatest unit in the game, but definitely a solid pick. But where it really comes down to is youth. You have Tech Gotenks, Physical Super Saiyan Gohan. AGL Kid Goku kind of struggles to thrive in battle-hardened formidable foes, but he does still have 60% DR. He's good in there. He's on Tech Vegito's team, so he works well. His damage is high. He has ridiculously good defense. His defense is just insane, and in Festival of Battles, he's pretty easily just top 5 in there. Always going to be doing damage. He has a 30% heal. He just has a lot of stats. This guy's pretty much just a stat monster, and he's covered by 60% DR with his intro condition. Always going to be good damage. Pretty much, if you can get his intro up, run this guy. His link set is kind of but he has All in the Family, which is shared with Tech Vegito, obviously the best character in the entire game. Pretty easily number one in my opinion. And similar thing with this guy, pretty much same thing, except this guy is unconditional and he's providing 8% DR support and overall good support. He's Rainbow Orb changing. He's doing really good damage. He can get up to 40 or 50% damage reduction. You float him off. He is new. You float him off. He's providing support. He cannot link with this guy, but to be honest, this guy's mainly going in slot 1 and he's mainly going in slot 3. So it kind of works both ways because these guys would be really good linking partners. Unfortunately, they aren't. Oh, whoa. Unfortunately, they are not. But they do flow really well together on a team because he's supporting him even more. And he's just being able to slot 1. This guy's damage is good. This guy's overall really good. He's consistent. His defense is great. His attack is great. He is probably the best support out of any TUR, even better than Glorio. And yeah, he's just a menace. This guy is ridiculously good. He's on all of the really good teams right now. Like, if you can run this guy, I highly recommend running him. Number 3, we have Glorio. This guy is really good. His damage is okay. He has a lot of high attack stats, but unless you're running a crit build, which is ideal, but you need a lot of dupes for that. Unless you're running a crit build, this guy is not going to be doing that much damage. His defense is very reliant on dodge when it comes to big super attacks, but he is debuffing, which is valuable in Int Jiren and battle hardened formidable foes. And his 60% support for 3 turns is really nasty. The only issue with this character is the fact he really only has one team, being his own. And while that team isn't very bad, it's a kind of poor 200%, and demonic power is not in that great of a spot. It might be as we get more Daima buffs with like Goma and Neva, maybe, I don't know. whoever else could release that benefits this guy. Right now, he really just needs a better team, but I think these three are kind of in a tier of their own right now. Number 4, we're going to go with Tech Super Easy A Cell. Actually, I'll just put in the next 3 because they're all Cell. And they all kind of work in conjunction together. And then I will explain exactly... Actually, no. We're going to do this. And I'll explain why in a moment. With this guy, I'll put up some screenshots. He is ridiculously good in battle hardened formidable foes. He's debuffing. He'll drop like 45 to 60 million attack stats because this guy's providing insane support. He's just slot winning for a team that needs it. His biggest issue was the fact that he had no team in the past. Now he has what, in my opinion, a very good team. It's his team, but it's still sort of lacking in a couple areas. But he himself holds this team together. These 3 are like literally the bread and butter of that entire team, and they all work really well together. High damage, great defense. Damage, but insane support and great defense. Overall, really good. These 3 characters are all just very consistent. They all flow really well together. AGL Cell, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. He does have a giant form for when things get fishy. Or a rage mode, I guess, which can be very useful in Topo or AGL/Int Jiren. This guy is just really good. Best offense probably out of all of these guys. Actually, he might even have some better ones. But this guy's just overall a good pick. Really good at EZA, dodge, guard, damage reduction, good stats. Like he's everything you want in an EZA TUR. I can't see him above Cell, though, only because this guy is kind of reliant on him, and I'll explain why. This guy has a domain, and on his team, it lasts 10 turns, because the first Cell pops it for 5 turns, and the other one pops it for the other 5 turns, 10 turns total. Really good support. It's a pure 30% support to any tournament participant, 15% to tournament participant, 15% to androids or Cell Saga allies or enemies. There aren't very many androids or androids or Cell Saga enemies, so they really only ever get the tournament participants buff, but in my opinion, it's not a high enough buff to warrant making anyone on their team not that relevant. So these 3 together, really good. His support is really good. He has a revive. The only issue with this character, genuinely, the only issue with this character is the fact that only one of the cells gets less damage, or gets only 30% DR in super attack, or against super attacks, and not the 15% DR in guard. I think if they just change that, I would honestly argue him like here, but unfortunately that's not the case. The one individual cell is probably up here. Like the one that actually gets the revive off, he's up here. But there is a second cell, and because of that flaw and the fact that you really only have this guy on his own team, I kind of have to put him at number 6 right now. Really good value. He just lacks teams, and his damage is kind of mediocre. But his support and his defense and his utility is insanely good. You run this guy pretty much anywhere. It's kind of hard to lose in my experience. I'll be uploading some videos on that recently because I see a lot of people saying that it's hard to win in battle hardened formidable foes, or you can't do enough damage in the red zone, which honestly I disagree pretty heavily with, especially since this guy just released right now. I think this guy is very strong, incredibly strong. Next up, I have STR, Goku, and Gohan. Kind of controversial by some people. Some people think this character is kind of mid. Some people think the character is really good. I am kind of in the middle. I think the character has some minor flaws, and I think he's really good. But I'd say the one thing he has over every TUR on this list, except for maybe this guy, is his teams. He is on every single ridiculously good team right now. He's on Vegeto's team. He's on Kid Goku's team. Right? He has access to a lot of support. Their damage is probably the only thing they lack. But even then, Goku does a lot of damage. They aren't really supporting, but Gohan is pretty much invincible. On his second turn, he has 88% damage reduction, guard, and like 1 million defense start a turn. He's the best pretty much on turn 5 or 6. Or sorry, 5 or 7. He's the best slot 1 in the game, and that's when it really matters right now. Goku stuns, great chance to stun, or it might be high chance to stun, either way. Stunning is pretty much essential in battle hardened formidable foes. He provides that. He has dodge, which is very strong, and he has enough defense to live every normal. So he's pretty much just dodge or die to the super attacks, and even then, the early super attacks will not kill him. And by the time you get Gohan out, you just float off Gohan, or you put him in slot 2, and he's literally just not going to die. These guys are invincible. They're on every team. They have a great link set. Really easy conditions. Damage isn't the greatest, obviously, but Gohan does have a super attack counter, which can be guaranteed against certain bosses. And while Ki Blast super attacks aren't the most common, they are in battle hardened formidable foes, and that's pretty much Gohan's forte here. Is going to be that events, in my opinion. So very, very, very valuable. Next up, I think next up, I'm going to have to put GT Vegeta. I'll put the next 3. We'll go GT Vegeta, Daima Goku, and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and then we'll just make this the honorable mention section. I'll explain why I don't think he makes the list, and he doesn't make the list, he doesn't make the list. I think the rest are kind of self-explanatory. I'll explain these guys first. These guys are good, but the one team you're running this guy on, which is STR Cells, their revives conflict, and he himself needs to revive if you want the Usher. But you want him to revive, so he'll be good in the red zones, but even then his damage isn't the greatest, his defense isn't the greatest. He's good, he's really good in battle hardened formidable foes. Like, he's like up here in battle hardened formidable foes, but that's really only on Tech Vegeta's team. Otherwise, he's just kind of sitting there, ushering for the one turn, and like, while that's really good, I don't know, I can't see him this high, not high enough to actually contest with any of the guys on the list. This guy, he has one team and it's his, but he's not living any of the supers there, and his damage isn't as high as his. His damage without a bunch of other boot characters is honestly really underwhelming, and unless he has this guy's domain, he isn't doing crazy damage like this guy is. He's just okay. Like, he'll do good damage, he'll be consistent, he's providing a lot of orb changing, he's providing support, but every super attack in the game pretty much kills this guy. He doesn't do enough damage, in my opinion, to run him on Cell's team. He's an overall good filler slot. He is good in battle hardened formidable foes because of the debuffing, but like I said, he's not tanky enough, even with the 66% damage reduction, to live a lot of these big boy supers. And this guy, I think on grade 8 power, he's over this guy. I think he's better on grade 8 power because his defense is only slightly worse than his, but his offense is way better, and that's very valuable on that team because if the team goes too slow, it makes it really easy to die with the other grade 8 Vegeta. You just float him off, he does a lot of really good damage, but so the difference between these guys is he's more defensive orientated, but he doesn't rely, his defense isn't orientated around grade 8 power, while Goku's is. His is more offensive orientated, but when you run him elsewhere, you don't really need offense. And when you run this guy, his offense is very valuable, but it's just not as good because he's very much more prone to death. So he'll still be solid if you have like 4Q and G4 on the team, but he's kind of relying on others to succeed anywhere other than AGO 4Q's team, and that team is just kind of like really good, but not like top 5 contender in my opinion. So he's good, but I don't think he's on this level. This guy is literally just stats. He's just stats and orbs. You collect as many orbs as you can, he'll do decent attacks, and he will pretty much never die. That's all this guy is. That's pretty much his main role. Orb change, do decent attack stats, be pretty much impossible to kill. That's all he's going to do. That's his character in a nutshell. You can run him anywhere. He's just good. This guy, pretty similar case, except he kind of needs to go slot 1 or 2. The biggest issue I see with this guy is the fact that he just doesn't have enough stats to tank super attacks. His support is really good. His damage is good once he's built up. He's on a lot of ridiculously good teams. He's just kind of lacking in enough areas to put him this high. His dodge is good, but he's dodge or die to supers. Some normals can even kill him. You cannot float this guy because he misses everything. So in a bad case scenario, or if he gets locked in slot 3, he's kind of bad. But in battle hardened formidable foes, he is able to slot 1 really easily for teams that need it. 90% dodge, 50% DR. So he's really good there, and I'd say the same thing for this guy. This guy's overall a good character. You can kind of run him anywhere. but he's just kind of lack in some areas. And then Dime of Vegeta, good, very. I would say his support is really good, and the teams he's on are really good. But where this guy lacks is he doesn't have enough damage. He is completely locked to slot 1, but you cannot float him off because of a lock to make sure he stays in slot 1, because then he won't get any defense stacks, and his defense stacks only last for 3 turns. His first turn is very, very strong, because his first turn, he has 90% damage reduction and a scouter. I think what he really needed was just guard, and his super attack support is ridiculously good, but it only lasts 1 turn compared to this guy's 2-turn support. And while he's supporting attack, I think this guy should have supported 2 turns for his defense. That would make it so that if you run 2 of this guy, they're pretty much both always going to be almost invincible. So I think this guy is really good. He just needs a few minor, like super minor tweaks to become just ridiculously good. Unfortunately, he isn't as good as he needed to be. I think he was kind of a failure, but definitely underrated. A lot of people think he's like below Buhan or like Slug or something. This guy is still good. He's providing slot 1 utility. He's supporting. His link set is also really bad. He has no defense in his links. Like he has a very bad link set. But overall, I like his team. I like the character. I like what he's providing. Except he's just not as good as other slot 1s, and he's not as consistent as you would want him to be. Anyways, yeah, that is the tier list. I don't really think I'm gonna change anything. I guess if I could put it into tiers. Here, I'll screenshot this really quickly. I'm gonna screenshot this. And then there we go. Took the screenshot. And then I will tier this. We'll just do ZSA. I would say these guys are the Z's. These guys are the S tier. And then these guys are the A tier. These guys are just providing less than all of them, or just aren't as good statistically. This is kind of like where TURs should be at, and then this is where like the elite TURs are at right now. Yeah, that's the list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be trying to upload way more consistently, because the biggest issue I've had is, being able to just consistently get myself to record. Expect a lot more Dokkan content. I've got a cell showcase and discussion video tomorrow about STR Cell and my thoughts on his release, stuff like that. Or no, not tomorrow. Tomorrow from when I'm recording this, but later today from when I upload this. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the very near future. Peace.